Warning. This program contains strong language, auditory violence, and mental nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to your uncensored home for all things Warcraft. With your hosts, Berserker and Navox. This is Unshackled Fury.
It's a special episode today, as your favorite warrior duo have not only made their way into the exalted ranks of alpha testers, but we have a most honored guest with us here today to talk all about it. So welcome to episode 69. That's right, I said it. Episode 69 of the Unshackled Fury podcast, your uncensored home for all things Warcraft. I'm your host, Berserker. I've got my Yeti at the ready. And with me, as always, is the Guinevere to my Lancelot. He is Navox. Welcome back again, sir.
D-list, baby. We got into alpha finally.
I think your math worked out. Fourth wave,
That's right.
D-list. Worked out. Worked out pretty good. So, I also want to welcome all the new listeners to the show who are with us on this episode. And don't feel bad if you're just now getting around to us, but you should know that we were rated as the best warrior duo podcast by Who Gives a Shit magazine in 2019. So better late than never, folks. And perhaps you are new to the show because of who we have with us here today. As we discussed on the last show, we D-listers were still waiting for alpha access. And lo and behold, it finally came last week. So to help guide us through this rarefied air, we have somehow managed to pull someone from behind the velvet rope of the A-list table to give us a hand. As I said earlier, he is truly a most honored guest, as he is like no other. He is an ardent champion of the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network, a streaming world record holder, a speed leveler, a completionist, a top-flight alpha tester, and quite possibly the greatest warrior who ever warriored. Welcome to the show, Des Mephisto. Thank you for coming on, and how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. We just finished our Autistic Self-Advocacy campaign. We raised $5,110.
Damn.
Wow.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
I'm still in shock. Last year we raised $2,600. I mean, this year we had one person nearly contribute $1,000 by themselves.
Wow. That's an awesome feeling too when you see something like that come through.
The top 5 contributors raised around $2,100 themselves, just 5 people.
Sounds like you got to set a higher goal. People are coming.
I mean, next year, the idea is to reach out into more games, Overwatch, Final Fantasy XIV, just to try and expand. We've dubbed it Warriors for Autism, really try and get that out there and do more good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you been partnered with the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network?
I wouldn't say we're partnered.
Okay.
One of the major issues that we run into is I was diagnosed at 29 with autism. Like, up until that point, I just thought that, I had some mental problems and I was just different, right? And once I got that diagnosis and I started realizing the help that I needed, there wasn't any help for adults. So I started looking around, and really the only charity that you hear is Autism Speaks. It's always Autism Speaks. And the fact is they don't really speak for us. They spoke for neurotypicals who wish they didn't have autistic children. Never mind autistic adults, because I mean, you're not allowed to be an adult and autistic. There's some kind of issue with that. But I found the Autistic Self Advocacy Network, and I wanted to do charity work. I wanted to do something to help us because it was a miserable feeling to realize, okay, yeah, I have autism, and there's nothing there for me. There's nothing. There's no help. There's no support. There's no networking. It's, oh, you're an adult now? You didn't get help as a kid? Well, fuck off. We don't fucking care. And I found them, and it, like, to me, it seems so awesome that here's this group of autistic people advocating for themselves. And I latched onto it, and I did everything I could to try and support them. So I got the idea. I reached out to a Phoenix from our WoW, and I was like, hey, I want to do a charity event for autism. We always see these charity events, St. Jude.
Yep.
St. Jude always has a charity event. It's always Save the Children. And, I mean, don't get me wrong. Save the children for sure. But
Yeah, point taken.
That's right.
Those children become adults. And we don't have enough support for adults in general. And that's something that's really important to me is we spend all of our energy focusing on potential. We don't do anything to maintain potential. So when those children becomes adults, we don't have anything set up. So I've always liked the idea of charities focused on adults because we always need help. Everyone's gonna need help, whether you're autistic, you're neurotypical, no matter what. The only way we're going to make the world better is if we help everyone. And we can't help everyone, but we might as well try.
Yeah. Your outlook, and especially your positivity is always so welcome. And the fact that you're fighting for such a noble cause. And you're right. I think it's something that you see a lot of where there's care up to a certain point, and then after that it's like, well, you should be able to handle it from here. Good luck. And that's not always the case necessarily, and I think that's phenomenal that you're putting so much energy towards that, and more of us should do that, quite frankly. And as far as the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network goes, what is it that they provide? What services do they provide? Like, what do they do out there for the community once people become engaged with them or what have you?
So the primary thing that they do is they're often at Washington, like literally trying to fight legislation. Some things that I know they've done is specifically, like, they had a campaign a while back called Stop the Shock, and this might be a surprise or anything, but electroshock therapy was still going on. I use the word therapy here loosely since it's not therapy. This kind of like medieval thing along the times of lobotomies and everything.
It's quite barbarous.
Still being practiced.
Yeah.
And it's primarily focused on women, borderline personality disorder, things like this, where it puts people down. This is one of the things I like about ASAN, is they don't just fight for people with autism. They fight for all people with disabilities.
Oh, right on.
And it's incredible that here we see, you know, instead of the situation where it's like, oh, well, I should only really care about myself, you know, I should only focus on the things that affect autism. It's seen as this coalition of people with disabilities and trying to lift everyone up rather than just ourselves. So they're often fighting, they're often doing whatever they can to try and get these voices heard. They use the platform to give a voice to the voiceless. One of the things that it's been really nice to see, this is outside of ASAN, but on Twitter, Crip the Vote, disability or disabled people often are kind of ignored when it comes to platforming for politicians. And the fact that these disabled communities are able to come together to give each other a voice has really helped to try and make a difference. For many of us who end up on Social Security, it's like $800 a month. Rent here in California, like the cheapest I could probably find is maybe $1,200 a month.
It's ridiculous.
And we have so many outdated aspects. So it's really important to be going out there and fighting politicians, fighting to get our voices heard, to be like, hey, we need more reform. We need help. We need this. And I'm so glad to be able to support ASAN in that journey and to try and give them some more extra energy to give us a voice, because disabled people are the voiceless. And yeah.
Yeah, and you have to be the squeaky wheel when it comes to moving legislation, with getting the ears of legislators and being a stakeholder who is constantly in someone's face or in their ears or, in their sight lines, and saying, hey, we've got this issue, pay attention to us, here's our letters, we're calling you, we're showing up at your office, we're doing all of these things. It does require an enormous amount of work. So that's fantastic that there's a group out there that is trying to further those causes. And kind of along those lines, as somebody who is partnered with them, as somebody who has their own challenges, what can we, if you have advice for those of us out in the community, people listening to this, are there things that we can do to be more helpful and more inclusive of gamers who have different abilities other than ourselves?
So I think the major thing is to try and be more understanding. That's one of the things that when we deal with day-to-day lives, we all have our routines and the things that we're used to. Mm-hmm. And when something, like for myself, I don't see autism and neurotypicals. I don't like using the word neurotypicals, but I don't really have a nicer way of like I don't want to be like normies, or there's no nice word for this.
You're not gonna offend us, whatever you call it.
You're not gonna offend anybody listening right now.
But
those other dipshits, you could call us that too.
But it's very similar. We all have our routines. We all like that consistency. There's a safeness and consistency. Granted, neurotypicals are more capable of handling that change. And the major thing that can be done to help us is to be understanding, to see that, hey, maybe we might be reacting very strongly to a certain situation, to work with us, to kind of meet us halfway. Thankfully in gaming, it's not a major issue. We might have some struggles with social interactions. It's really hard for me to make friends, for me to fit inside cliques, to kind of understand that dynamic. It's become easier as I've become more well known, because people are attracted to me rather than me trying to attract to them, right?
Right.
I guess it's like I'm a dull magnet at first. So if you're like a really strong magnet, and I can't get close enough, and so everyone else is able to just magnetize around it very easily. Whereas for those of us with autism, it's often very difficult for us to kind of connect that way.
Now, let me ask you this. With that in mind, how does playing Warcraft help with autism? How does it help you, basically? When you're playing Warcraft, how does it help you cope? What draws you into it?
It's a very structured world with very obvious rules. And I mean, that's pretty much true with any game, right? That you play a game, you have very defined rules, the world's structured, that you're going to gain like abilities, that if you lose your health, you die, that to pass the level, you have to do certain tasks. It's all laid out in front of you. Whereas in the real world, there's a lot more nuance that's kind of unspoken and assumed. And with social interactions, I feel like they're more they're more defined. So in the real world, when we have social interactions, it's harder to understand motives. Whereas in the game, it's like, okay, our social interaction is we want to group and do this dungeon, or I have an item, you want to buy it, and we can do this exchange real quick. And oh, hey, you did this thing that's really cool, and we can talk about it. Whereas in the real world, I don't know how to do those things. I mean, I kind of learned over time, but the interaction and understanding is so much harder. So having like that removed and it just be this kind of more structured, simplified thing makes it so much easier. I don't know if that makes a whole lot of sense.
It does. It does make a lot of sense. Yes, but it's nice that we have, the commonality of being able to log into this outlet and, communicate with one another and adventure with one another, and how it it may help, you know, it brings people together more so than, you know, going out and being social right now. And we're experiencing this more often now, with the current world environment where most of us are living in quarantine, and, you know, your only interaction is with your loved ones around you and us. We're talking right now over the internet. You know, we log into WoW, we play WoW. There's a social interaction there. So I mean, I can understand it. It's you know, World of Warcraft has become a tribal thing, and it's, you know, it's our people and it's our tribe, and we, you know, it's, you know, I understand. It's yeah.
It's also more finite, right? Like out in the real world,
Yeah.
there's a million different things that people want to do for a million different reasons, as opposed to, I want to raid, you want to raid. Let's go kill this boss. Or,
Yep.
you know, we're going to do this quest. Why are we doing it? Because the quest test told us how. Why? Let's do it. Yes. Off we run. So that makes sense, you know. And
Yeah, it's like, I guess the best way to compare it is in life, you know, we're out there and it's like, you like living. Yes, I also enjoy living. like I don't really have anywhere to go with that, but when we're playing World of Warcraft, we share that shared passion. So obviously we like video games, we like RPGs, we like the social aspect that comes from it.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it easier to kind of interact with that than just, yes, living. It's the best.
It's the only way to fly, man. So, as part of your Warcraft experience and ours and all of the things we've talked about so far, one of the ways that I think most people have come to know you is through your streaming and through your leveling streams, through your charity streams, through all of that kind of stuff. So I guess the first question that I would have to ask, or at least what comes to mind, is, and I know this is an easy question for Nav and I to answer, but why Warriors, man? Like, what compels you? Because, like, Nav and I live and breathe this stuff to a certain degree, but man, you embody the warrior essence and experience, like, all the way through. You've leveled every combination that there is. You're going after all the gear. Like, you're speed leveling. You're just bringing it all through to just a nitro level. So why Warriors, man? What is it about our creed that just draws you in?
I don't know how to quite explain it. I've always liked plate classes, right? Like the maximum armor type. I always thought that was badass. It looked cool.
Yeah.
Dual wielding is also something that ever since I was a kid, I love dual wielding.
Yeah.
One of my favorite characters of all time, Lloyd Irving from Tales of Symphonia, dual wielded. Just, I love that. Berserkers, Diablo 2, the Barbarian, just the dual wielding, just frenzy. I love that concept. There's just always been something about that. And as I played WoW and I played the Warrior and I got that fantasy, especially in vanilla, when we had intercepting, we were stancing and charging and then intercepting in that skill level, I felt so invested in the class. And as it's evolved over time and it's become what it is today, the flow, the frenzy, the rage, it's just become more and more and more ingrained where I really just identify as a warrior. Like I don't know, that's my mantle. And I think there's some aspects that champion also to what's going on in real life where, you know, the warrior mentality is that you get knocked down, you get fucked up, you eat shit, and then you get back up and you overcome it. You know, that whole aspect. And WoW, Warrior, besides Death Knight, originally it was only Warrior.
Yeah.
Warrior, this is true. This is only a Warrior. Every gender, every race could only be Warrior. That was it. And that idea that no matter who you are, what you look like, whatever the case, you could take on this mantle. That you can get knocked the fuck down and get back up and fight. And fight for what you believe in. And I love that concept because it's one that's very true to what I've experienced.
You live it for real.
I know the answer to this, but how many warriors do you have? You filled up to the point where you can't make any more characters. Is that correct?
Yes, I have 48 max level warriors right now, and then one at 110 and one at 86.
I have one.
That's awesome. Now, do you have a particular, like when you're leveling, do you have a particular, I don't know, do you have a particular way that you like to level? Do you like to level as arms, fury, prot? I mean, because recently I started leveling a horde Magar warrior, and I was leveling as fury, and it's really nice because when I want to jump into a dungeon, you just leave all your gear on and it automatically switches you over to prot to tank the dungeon. Because I mean, I can get into dungeons by doing a DPS class, but you know, it's a lot faster when you want to get into a tank class. So whenever you're leveling, do you have a particular spec that you like to go through when you're leveling, or?
Yeah, so if there was an ability that could define who I am as a person, it would be Single-Minded Fury.
They need to bring that back. Blizzard needs to bring that back. Just
no,
even
no.
Oh, come on.
No.
It was.
It's 2 versus 1 here. It's 2 versus 1. Bring it back.
This ain't no democracy.
for the you know, because for the sheer reason that you could still wield your two-handed weapons and then transmog them as one-handers too if you want.
See, I'm fine with that. Transmog them.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't need to overcomplicate the class, but my identity as a warrior was always Single-Minded Fury, right? Like just that dual-wielding one-handers, that, you know, Viking badass that just picks up these one-handers and starts beating motherfuckers down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's my identity, and like these two-handers can look cool, right? Like they can look cool, but often they don't.
Oh, they don't.
So
they are
like
terrible.
having that choice.
Oh my
I
god!
love
How hard is it
pole
to make?
arms.
Well, how hard is it to make a sword that just comes to a point? We don't get that in WoW. We have one or two like that in WoW. The sword that comes down to a point. Usually it comes down to like an ice cream cone. It's like you got a really cool looking sword, and then there's like a banana on the end of it. It's like, yeah, it's.
What you got against bananas, man?
Bananas are paladins things, though.
Well.
Classic banana shoulders.
That's true. Well, and the thing about the Single-Minded Fury is, and I guess where we definitely have some nexus, is the transmog options for one-handers is so much better. Like there are so many gorgeous one-handed weapons where I'm like, classic Alliance weapons where we're like, man, I can't transmog this because I can't have one-handers, and it's like an entire wasted chapter in my book of transmog. It's just it's awful.
I got so mad. Okay, I don't know, mad, maybe sad mad.
So mad.
Yeah, see, I can't connect them because it's just sad and mad. I mean, you said smad, but I guess mad works. Yeah, smad. Allowing one-handers to be turned into fist weapons. That is something I've always wanted. Like, I've always wanted to combine a monk with a warrior. Like so that you wearing like full plate and you're like using fist weapons to fight. I can't use them.
Yeah.
I really feel like with warriors, the mentality of warriors and what they're capable of, that they should be able to do that. They should be able to do everything. And it's really frustrating right now. It's really fucking frustrating that fucking Death Knights fucking get goddamn fucking dual wield and their goddamn fucking two-hander. Fuck them.
Oh, they get the Single-Minded Fury?
Yeah, no.
They got it all.
Yeah. So originally Frost Death Knights lost two-handed weapons, and that their spec was going to be dual wield, and now they get both.
Huh.
And
okay. All
I get is sadness.
Now I've leveled a Frost DK. I actually have a Frost DK that I was leveling, and it plays a lot like Fury. I realize that plays a lot like Fury. The rotation and whatnot. So if anybody wants to try out playing a Death Knight, pick up Frost. It pretty much plays the same as a Fury Warrior. It feels very similar.
But should it?
It shouldn't. But Blizzard.
I cannot get into playing range classes. The only one that I have played is a hunter. I cannot get into playing casters, and I will tell you this. I hate mages more than anything else.
Fuck mages.
Like in the game. I cannot stand them. They're so slippery. You cannot do anything to a mage as a warrior in this day, and it just feels like you can't do anything to them. Like they can just teleport, ice block,
Oh,
Again,
Shattering
teleport.
Throw. Fuck their ice block. Shattering Throw.
That's coming. That's coming. But yes, I was gonna say, transitioning over to Shadowlands, we're gonna have a lot more options available to us. So, but what I was gonna say was, initially, I just can't get into playing the range classes. So the plate classes and the melee classes, I love playing those types of classes. And so I mean, I understand the whole, why you play a warrior, because that's mainly all I play too. I just level up warriors. Like, I have that Mag'har orc, and right when I'm done with that, I'm going to level the Tauren because they're awesome,
Reasons.
But speaking of Shadowlands, how are you enjoying the alpha, and what are you finding different at this point in the game? Like, what are you excited about that's different? Besides Torghast, besides all that, because that's a whole nother conversation altogether. But we'll get to that. But starting with just the game itself, and they threw a lot of abilities back at us. Well, how are you feeling with all that?
Not really impressed right now.
Really? Okay.
Ignore Pain is a cool concept, especially because right now Fury pretty much has, okay, I have Enraged Regeneration, but I'm not supposed to stand next to the boss, but I need to pop a defensive, so I just have 30% damage reduction, and that's it. Because, I mean, with Enraged Regen, we have to hit the boss. That's the way we heal. It's our entire defensive. So if we're having to be away from the boss and we just be like, okay, I have 8 seconds of 30% DR, and now I'm dead. Ignore Pain gives us the option of at least getting a shield, but right now it costs 80 rage. So we have to choose between doing damage with Rampage or Ignore Pain. And Ignore Pain's like a 12-second cooldown, and it gives us like 1/4 of our health bar as an absorb shield. So it feels really weak and kind of like, why do we still even have this? Like, a lot of these abilities they bring back, Slam, Ignore Pain, Shield Slam, Shield Block, they feel like they're there just to be there. They don't really serve a purpose. Like, oh, cool, I used to have this ability, that's awesome. Oh, okay, this is useless. Like, it doesn't do anything. And, I mean, Intervene's nice to have back. Intervene opens up some power plays. Spell Reflect opens up some plays. Like, those things are really cool. But it feels like a lot of this unpruning is just to unprune things so that we would learn things. It feels really poorly thought out.
What would you bring back?
Single-Minded Fury. I mean, stances.
Or do we need anything back?
Stances. I know stances are kind of a difficult concept for new players to some extent.
I never got the stance dancing right. I think that what's funny about this is that you and I probably could not be on more opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to how difficult or nuanced we want our play to be. Because for me, I like the old Wrath style, where I'm hitting Whirlwind and Bloodthirst and maybe an occasional Heroic Strike, and I'm just wailing away on this stuff, and there's not really a lot to do. As opposed to before, where it was, we're jumping stances, we're doing different things, we're running over here, we're doing this and that. And
it was terrible in Wrath. Wrath is actually, so I really like the Wrath iteration, but in Wrath, so we're in Zerker stance, we're spamming our abilities, going through all that, and then we're switching to battle stance to cast Rend, and then switching back to Zerker stance.
Well, I wasn't even doing that.
Yeah.
We're just stacking Armor Pen like it was going out of style.
If you wanted to min-max DPS, I hated that so much, because you're literally just spamming one for Heroic Strike, and then you'd switch stances, and then Rend, and then switch back and one on... I hated it.
That's all I did.
I really like where Fury is right now. Like, I like it. It feels good. Yeah. It's fast-paced. It's fun. But I really miss the feeling of switching stances and having something like... I like the idea of having Thunderclap as a way of slowing everything around me. And then switching back and whirlwinding. Like, having more options to handle problems around me feels good. Because it goes from that easy to play, hard to master. And I like... I mean, I've been playing Warrior for so long. I want more utility that can showcase skill rather than, okay, I've reached my pinnacle, I'll guess I'll just die now. And I hate that feeling when you die and there's nothing you can do.
Now, touching on that, I think people are going to be shocked when they set foot in Shadowlands and they find that they're going to be dying more often. I don't know if you experience this at all with your leveling, but I kind of feel like that element of maybe I shouldn't go attack that elite over there, even though we're the same item level or we're the same level at this point. Maybe I shouldn't go attack that thing because it's going to kick my ass. I don't know if you've come into contact with that. Like 3 or 4 mobs in Shadowlands I've come across where it's just been like, wow, this thing's kicking my ass and we're the same level. Now, granted, I'm using a pre-built warrior on the beta servers, and I don't have all of my gear that I have right now, but still, it feels like they've put some fun elements back in the game that we used to experience in vanilla.
I feel very mixed about that because especially after the first month, the amount of players that are present in the leveling content just all vanish. And there's no way to tackle a lot of the content without that. I feel like, Classic's great.
I see what you're saying.
What makes Classic great was that there was so many people leveling all the time that you could handle these problems and it worked. But now the leveling or the concept of leveling in WoW is an afterthought. It's kind of just a tool to get you to the end game. And so there's no one there anymore. And making that content difficult doesn't really serve a purpose. I know many of us kind of crave for that challenge and to have a meaningful world. But right now we're in this period where we have two opposing thoughts and we're trying to make them mesh and they can't. They can't touch tips.
Well, it seems like endgame is king and has been for a very long time, and that seems to be everything that the design iterations seem to move towards. Is not necessarily so much about the longevity or the challenges to get to the end. It's once we get to the end, that's the real game suddenly, and I think that at least that's the way I know. I've seen a lot of views out there being put out, is that nothing really matters until we're at the mythic raid level, super end game, high playstyle stuff, and that everything before that and up to that is just kneeling at the altar.
That's something that really frustrates me, and it's one of the things I actually liked about WoD, is WoD tried to move away from that.
It had a great leveling experience.
Yes,
I loved it.
It's the best experience I've ever had in WoW. I really like the vanilla experience with leveling, but WoD treated everything right with the bonus objectives, the garrisons, being able to interact with the world around you, the treasures. It made you feel really invested in the world, and I love that leveling system so much. But even the end game, the end game was there, you did it, and then it was like, hey, look, we know you're still subscribed. Why don't you just do something else? This is everything. You've already met your quota for the week. Just look. The best thing about WoW is its world, right? Like it's called World of Warcraft, and yet for some reason so many of us are fixated on, no, it's World of In-Game Craft. And being able to take that free time and go farm transmog, to go to Mop and tend to my farm, to go and explore and interact with the entire world, that felt great. It felt so nice, and now we're on this constant. Okay, no, you gotta keep running on the treadmill. You gotta keep running on the treadmill, and it's so tiring. I'm playing 3 warriors right now, and I want to pull my hair out. I want to pull my hair out trying to play 3 characters, and that's
way too. That's too many for me.
Yeah, that's just doing the cloak shit. I can't even maintain the cloak or the cloak stuff. I literally just do a 15 on each of them and do the cloak on one, and it's still too much. It's so hard to keep up.
Do you do a lot of raiding?
I used to. I had Cutting Edge and WoD, and then I just do N'Zoth on Heroic now because I'm lazy. Well, not because I'm lazy, because I don't have enough time. I can't put another 6 hours aside a week to try and do mythic content.
Right. Yeah.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. In this raid, I burnt out with the raid at the beginning of Ny'alotha, I was just like, I'm done. I let go. I couldn't do this raid. And my friends, my raid team were like, you should come along and you should, join us a couple nights a week. And so I would join them every so often. And I'm just like, I'm hating all of this about this raid. And I don't know what it was with Ny'alotha that I just couldn't click with. It was just, I don't know. It felt like it was just way too much trash between the bosses. The boss fights were interesting, but it wasn't like, I don't know. I just didn't feel engaged in it or anything like that.
You hate the corruption stuff.
I do. I do not like the corruption stuff. I do not like the corruption system at all. And I think that pretty much sums up my disdain with the current content, which is why I just fall back on leveling alts and playing old world content stuff, so it's, I can still find things to enjoy in the game. It's just, but yeah.
What do you think about the corruption, Des?
I hate it. I honestly think that skill should always come before RNG. I liked other systems in the past, like legendary items, things that allowed new players or more casual players to feel more powerful. I love stuff like that because it's very necessary. We all play this game. We all love that feeling of having control and power when in the real world we might not have those things. So it uplifts us all. But this new system is just all RNG. It's all RNG.
Yeah.
And it feels shitty to put in a lot of effort and a lot of time and end up with nothing in return.
Or hey, you just raided that week and then you got this really awesome item, but then you go run a Mythic Plus and you replace it because you just get it out of there instead of, well, shit, why did I raid? I can just go run Mythic Plus and I don't need to do any of this stuff,
Yeah, like, I don't know, I don't like rating's always been the end game. Like rating, like I like that we have Mythic Plus, and I'm hoping that we can get something with Torghast to make it more like in-game content level in some way, that we can actually get like an in-game item from it somehow. I like those concepts, but the RNG of like, okay, here we have this will, all right, you hit the lottery, congratulations, you do a lot of damage. Oh, you didn't hit the lottery, get the fuck out of here. You're bottom of the barrel. You get to feel like shit for the next fucking month. It's not fun.
It has been amazing to see in our raid how one or two items can suddenly just blow up somebody's DPS. And not to say, like in our raid, for instance, in front of the show, another fellow warrior got, I think, the rank 3 infinite stars, something on a piece of gear. He was already top of the charts anyway, but now he's like just blowing people away, which I'm not really going to complain about too much, because better him than me, because it's probably wasted on me. But for everybody else in the raid, yeah, I mean, it's tough when maybe you're playing at, the nth degree of how far you can perform and what you have with what you have. But unless you have just that ultimate luck in the roll, get the fuck out, because you're never going to get close. And there is somewhat of an ego part of that, ego just generally, that you want to do well, that you want to perform, that you want to live up to what you feel is your own expectation of how you should be doing. And yeah, when that gets kind of waylaid by, random drop, wow, shit, that worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
That can be tough.
7.3.5, I think it was, is when you could purchase legendaries. Like, you could directly target them. And Legion, I think that was the best idea, because this exact same problem, like Blizzard, come on, pay attention to what we're complaining about. This exact same problem was present in 7.0. Where,
was it Agrimar's Striders?
Yeah, Agrimar's Stride that gave you the increased movement speed. Although honestly, between you and us, you and I, you know what I mean there. I think that was like one of the best legendaries, to be honest. Like I would gladly take that. Movement speed means more time on the boss, means you move out of shit faster. And you can never go wrong with movement speed. But yeah, it felt like shit to be like, okay, fuck yeah, I got a legendary. I'm gonna be fucking. Oh, it's Pridos. Yeah, Ian, I'm definitely going to remember when I got this legendary and the disappointment I felt from it being fucking Pridos.
Yeah.
You still got him in the bank though, right?
I think so. I don't even bother looking at my pink anymore. My pink's so full of shit. I just like fuck it, just throw it in there and forget about
I
it.
kept every single legendary. I haven't got rid of any of them. They're just sitting in my bank. I'm like, I got all those things. They're mine.
Well, I guess there's a point there too about design philosophy in that, so you've played since vanilla, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Nav has. I came in early BC era. So for I think most of our playing time collectively, legendaries were truly that. They were legendary. They were rare. You had to have time, like months and months and months of time put in, raids, all kinds of stuff to get a legendary, a singular legendary. And then as time has gone on, they got a little bit easier to get and a little bit easier to get. And then in Legion, they just kind of threw them out there and it was a free-for-all. And to tell you the truth, I don't know that I ever thought that was really a great idea, because it seemed to water down the specialness of what that was, considering that we already had artifacts, which were using some of the most legendary items, except for whatever it was that we as warriors got, which I don't know what happened there, but everybody else got a cool thing. And now we've had, I don't know, it seems like a reversion perhaps, where it's going to be a little bit tougher in Shadowlands to get a legendary. I'm not quite sure. I mean, what's your feeling on legendaries and how rare should they be, and what do you think they should do with them in Shadowlands?
So, like, one of the things that I can say is, like, raiding in vanilla, or, well, I didn't really raid much in vanilla. Like, I tried to, but I mainly PvP'd. And when I really, really raided in Wrath of the Lich King, it feels so shitty to be there every single day. You help kill the boss and everything, and it's just one person that gets the legendary, right?
Yeah.
Like they're chosen, they're the favorite, and I'm just some fucking asshole that has to now support this asshole. And I never liked that.
But it's for the good of the team.
Fuck them.
Right? Isn't that?
It's for the good of me. Like, I mean, I understand what you're saying. Like, I'm generally like always like, yeah, we need to support the team. But we all know it's a fucking goddamn popularity contest. It's like, yeah, that one's been sucking off the GM a little, you know.
No way.
And so I like that in Mop we had the legendary cloak, and then in WoD we had the legendary ring, and it's really nice to be able to just get the legendary and it's mine, right? That it's up to me now, that I go and do the work and I get it. And with Shadowlands and Torghast, I like this concept that they said that we should be able to earn a legendary like every 2 to 3 weeks, and we'll only be able to equip 1. I'm sure that'll eventually turn into 2, and then maybe 3, depending on what we saw in Legion and what we see in the past. I mean, first I think like 3, 4, or 5 months it was only 1, and then it became 2. Being able to do something like that, I like the concept. I think it's fun. Being able to expand beyond just our abilities to have something, because the legendaries aren't just stat sticks, they change the way we play the game, and that's good. You know, it's really nice to be able to have more control over how I want to play my class, how the class reflects me. I mean, yeah, there's in-game, but outside of in-game, how do I want to play the game? Because it's not always about how fast we kill things. It's about, like, being able to heroic leap 3 times in a fucking row. I fucking love those shoulders.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
And I have a lot of hope. The fact that we can target legendaries now in Shadowlands, at least that's what they're claiming. I don't know if they're going to back out on that. But the idea of being able to target it, I love that. I love the idea of having a permanent power slot. You know, this item's always going to be my best item, and I can play around that. And especially with the new Mythic Plus cache letting me choose an item. You know, just having more control over the RNG is going to create a better feeling. And less, you know, the feeling of like, well, I guess I'm fucked for this week. Which is, it's been this way since Legion, and I don't like it.
And building legendary is going to come from running Torghast, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what that's, you know, so
At least partially, I think. That's where the legendary components are going to come from, but I don't know about the other components.
should we jump into Torghast then and talk about that a little bit?
Let's do it.
So Torghast is this. It's this new instance that I think everybody's going to really enjoy. I dipped my
You're
foot.
going to
in,
be addicted.
I got into it a little bit last week when I first got in, because that was the first thing I did after they released it. Because I haven't been doing Torghast because they only had it for Demon Hunters, and I don't play a Demon Hunter. When they opened it up for the other classes this past week, I jumped in and tried it on my warrior. It is the most fun I've had in game in a long time, because it felt like I'm playing freaking Diablo in World of Warcraft. I mean, I think I took so long because I ran around and crushed all of I broke all of the the vases that are around the area, those things that are they
You were
place
doing
them.
the Zelda thing.
I was doing the Zelda thing.
The
I was
thing,
breaking
yeah.
I was breaking everything. And the fact that you power up your character in the instance and you just get more powerful, I was like, people are going to love this. This is something special. This is really neat. It's a neat concept. I got past the first major boss, but then I turned it off shortly after that. I died twice on that first boss. He was kind of tough, and I don't know if I went in with the right build, building my talents up or whatnot, but I had a lot of fun. Now, I know, Des, you recently finished it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about that.
Yeah, you beat it.
Yeah.
You beat it.
It's over. Alpha's over. Torghast is over. You beat it. It's done. We're over.
So there was only 72 levels on the alpha for single player content for warriors.
God.
And we start off at level 25 on heroic. That's the only way to get that gap. For normal it ends at level 23, and for easy it ends at level 12. So you go from 13...
I was so close. I got to 9. Damn it. God.
And it's a lot of RNG right now. I tried a bunch. I put in like 20 hours trying to figure it out. And on like the 20th hour, the first time, I made it to the last boss. I got there, everything was going good. I was gonna kill the boss. I charged too soon. I charged the boss had 1,504 health. I charged right into its ground slam and got one shot.
Oh wow.
So I lost out, and I decided, 2 days later, it's okay, I'll try this again. I went through everything. I re-rolled a bunch of times because there's a specific power. Anytime you charge your heroic leap, you increase your damage by 200% for 4 seconds. So I looked specifically for that, and then there's another one where when you destroy the Ashen Phylactery? Yeah, that thing. Well, those are what the vases are called, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And when you destroy them, you gain 5% damage for slam on your next slam cast. Well, with Fever of Battle, it doesn't consume it. So you could whirlwind, and you'll slam your target without consuming the damage. And if you get 5 of them, or 5 of this talent, it's 2,500 damage increase when you slam.
Yeah.
So I'm basically going around just whirlwinding shit and fucking murdering everything in sight. I charge in whirlwind, one shot. Charge in whirlwind.
That whirlwind build.
That whirlwind is awesome because it pulls the mobs into
Oh
you.
yeah,
and
we were using that too.
That is insane. It is because it does kind of, it feels, you got Diablo and you got basically it's almost like the Heroes of the Storm type abilities that you get at certain points in the game. So you just, so I imagine there's going to be a new website set up on Wowhead that says, when you're going through at this level, this will probably be the optimized thing. Yeah, exactly. Use these talents, and when
are you going to write that guide, Des Mephisto? And are you going to send it to us first?
I'm probably going to do leveling guides on Wowhead soon, maybe. But I don't know about anything else. The guy that they have currently writing, Archimeteros. Yeah. He's a fucking genius when it comes to this shit. He's got the theory crafting down. So I can't compete with that guy. But I might be working with him on writing some warrior leveling guides, so I'm looking forward to that.
Cool. Nice.
Very cool.
But at a certain point, I got to so we had increased rage generation, there's a talent that every time that you free a soul, like there's cages in there, that you free them, they increase your enraged regeneration time by 10%. And there's another one, when you get hit, you have a 10% chance of casting Ignore Pain. And there's another one that when you have Ignore Pain activated, it casts Enraged Regeneration. So you have this combo where you can pretty much permanently have Enraged Regeneration without even pushing the button. Nice. And then you can go even a step further, where Rampage now whirlwinds every single time you cast it. So you get these like crazy fucking things, and at a certain point, like, I'm literally just smashing entire floors. Like the first 30 floors or first 5 floors from 25 to 30 are so incredibly hard. And then once you get past that, it's just downhill from there, and you literally just overpower everything. And like, I know it's novel, but it's some of the most fun I've had. Like, even playing the base game now, I'm slamming Whirlwind. I'm like, why aren't you instantly dying? It's so satisfying, and like, I have nothing but praise to say about Torghast. I really hope that outside of legendaries, that they have cosmetic rewards like glyphs. Like, this would be the best time for glyphs to return. One of the things, like, as a warrior that annoys the fuck out of me is Heroic Leap. When I fucking Heroic Leap, I know it's a Heroic Leap, so it should do damage, but I don't want to be in combat with every fucking critter I kill. So just give me a glyph that removes the damage from Heroic Leap, so I can fucking leap and not kill the fucking critter. I know it's a small thing, but this is the perfect place for it.
That's true. That'll be on the 74th level, perhaps. But yeah, to your point, I went in there, the first time I ever went in there, it was only when, I think it was Druids, Mages, Demon Hunters. I mean, it was a small group of classes that could get in, and I went in on a Demon Hunter. I've never played a Demon Hunter other than to go through the starting area one time years ago. And I was just blowing shit away. It was awesome. I had no idea what I was doing, but I'm like, I'm going to stand in this death pool and just wail on this dude, and I'm getting life from this thing. And I'm just going ape shit. And it was so much fun. And as I know you've talked about, as we've talked about, I think that this is going to be a very addicting portion to this expansion, because I spent, I don't know how many hours it was just to go 9 levels. And I'm just screwing around, and I'm like, I could keep going. Like, I'm not done because I'm done. I'm done because I got to go make dinner, and I have other shit to do. So it's going to, like, weekends, weeks, the whole chunks of time are going to just disappear in Torghast. Like, no joke.
I've put in 40 hours, and it doesn't even have a reward yet. There's nothing from this. It's just personal enjoyment. So there's nothing to work towards. And I'm still fucking dreaming about this goddamn tower. Like, I'm still like, man, I'm itching for it. Like, I need it. And it's buggy as shit. It's messed up. There's so many things missing.
Oh, yeah.
And I still want to, like, fucking live there. It's so good. I really hope Blizzard's able to pull this through, because this content honestly could last us 6 years. Like, really, if they do it right, it's engaging enough, it's fun. This is something that can go outside the expansion and actually be an actual thing for solo play. 100%.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's the sort of the randomization, I think, already is going to just keep it fresh, because you're not going to have that same layout every single time.
I'm still running into new maps after 40 hours.
And they can keep adding them. And that's the thing, is that they can keep adding them ad nauseum. And as those of us that are fortunate enough now to be in the alpha and to see it, to your point, there's whole areas that either are empty or art assets that aren't in, and you can see the nuts and bolts of this thing still being put together, and it's kind of an interesting view.
There was one map where literally, like they use the assets, right, but they change them up. So for this asset, you actually had to use the grapple hook, like from Stormheim. Like, so you're literally grappling from platform to platform, and they have the anima powers, which is how you buff up and get like these new things. And one of them was literally like, you had to jump off in a certain way, and like you literally had to do a platformer thing where you jumped off and tried to land on a ledge to activate it, and then you would have to grapple back up. So it goes beyond just killing mobs, and like you actually have to interact with your environment too.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. And this isn't the first one I found.
It sounds like some of the stuff that was going on in, when I was playing Diablo Eternal. A lot of platforming type stuff where you're having to jump and do stuff in midair and figure things out. And then for me, somebody that doesn't do a lot of that, that's fresh and fun and it's new.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, it is one of the things that really surprises me about Torghast 2 is the scale. Like getting in there, I didn't think that it was going to be so big and grand and huge as it is. Like I'm thinking, oh, I'm in a tower or I'm in something that feels like Ice Crown Citadel or something like that. I don't know why I was thinking that, but you get in there, it's enormous, just the scale of the whole place. And then you get through a level and then you go to another one and you're somewhere else and it's this other crazy whole thing. And yeah, to your point, you can put tangible, like equipable stuff in there, which there won't be much. They said there won't be a whole lot of equipables in there that you'll get out of it, portions for your legendary or parts for your legendary, but cosmetics, some kind of glyph thing maybe we add in, mounts, story stuff that's going to go on in there. Like you can recycle that for a lot of different things and just keep kind of working on it. But the tech that's going on there is very exciting.
Oh,
and
yes.
Yeah, and you had a pretty big stream on that yesterday when you were doing Torghast?
Yeah, I was streaming it yesterday.
Yeah, okay.
Novel rated me.
Oh, nice.
Is that when you got your 500,000th?
Yeah. I'd hit 500,000 views right before the stream.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
That's so great. And if we're going to talk about your streaming, we have to mention the fact that you are a world record holder. Am I right about this?
I mean, kind of. I'm waiting
35 hours?
36 hours. I'm waiting for it to be official with Guinness Book of World Records. I think someone just streamed 36 hours and 44 minutes, but for it to be an official record, you have to like contact Guinness Book of World Records in advance. You have to have everything set up. Like there's a lot of nuance to it, which is why I don't think we haven't seen like a higher record yet, right? Because there was somebody in like MOP who did like 72 hours or more. Like they streamed for an entire week or something. It was
Oh wow. Yeah.
but you have to meet like a lot of rules. You have to contact them. You have to tell them why you're doing it. If you don't do that, then it's not like an official record. So I'm waiting for them to approve, and I don't know how long that's going to take. So maybe. I beat the original record, which was 32 hours and like 26 minutes, but
I remember at one point you'd gotten to like 35 hours and people were going apeshit in the chat and you were just continuing on to play. You're like, oh, hey, look, I got the, however many hours. I'm like, this guy is focused, man. Like this is what it takes. This is the kind of dedication I do not have.
All I'm saying is, depending on how Shadowlands looks, I might do like a 40-hour stream with Shadowlands. It'll depend, but I would actually enjoy doing that again. I don't know what's wrong with me, but
well, I think as you can attest to, right, is Warcraft, and I think everybody kind of has different things, right? But there's something that just hits that groove in your brain where you're like, man, this is hitting the right spot, and I'm just gonna keep on going and just ride.
Doing 36 hours in old content. Imagine doing like 40 hours in new content. Easy.
Yeah. Easy.
Well, and I imagine at the same time you're growing your channel, your subscriber base is growing. Like, is that going pretty well? You're getting more people coming to you and saying, "Hey, I haven't seen you before, but this looks pretty rad. Jumping on board." How's that going?
I'm actually it's been really, really cool. So one of the things that I think that I struggled with initially, because again, as an autistic person, one of the things that we struggle with is socializing and friendship. And I've been streaming now for about 15-16 months, I think. One of the things that I've really haven't understood is fostering community. And as I've been doing this, I've noticed more and more about how to express how I feel to reflect on how to build a community, and I've been seeing it grow as a result. Talking about how I want positivity, how I want inclusivity, how I want people to be able to feel like they belong, that they're welcome, that they can talk about their problems. And since I've been expressing that, I've seen our community continue to grow.
That's great.
And understanding how a community is so important for Twitch. Like, you understand a community is important, but you don't see how important it is until you see people coming back. And they're coming back partially for you because they find you entertaining, but because they feel like they belong in chat. I don't know if you guys have ever like gone into like a streamer's channel and you like, oh, I don't know if I should talk. I don't know what the right thing is to say. And it feels almost a little uncomfortable. And trying to make the environment where it's safe for anyone to join. Like, hey, I like what you're doing. This is awesome. Oh shit, this is fucking awesome. We can all hang out, you know, and we build that friendship. And I love that. I don't know, like that's my favorite thing about streaming, is that building that friendship and meeting new people and growing that community. I love it so much.
That's great.
I have a lot of respect for streamers because I try to sit and stream for maybe an hour or two, and then I'm just tired. Like, I just get tired of streaming for like after an hour or two, and I'm just like, oh, this is, yeah, you know, and I just, I burn out. So I have a lot of respect for people who can just sit there and you're basically entertaining people for hours and hours on end. So
doing it for 8 hours straight is really hard. Doing it for 36 hours straight was also hard.
How long did it take you to recover from something like that?
So my brain broke immediately after that and I couldn't sleep.
Oh man. Oh, you went too far.
Yeah. I hit, I don't know what. I'm honestly still recovering from it. One of the ways that I sleep at night is like I daydream. So like I like have these visions in my head and like I fucking just like daydream through that and I fall asleep because it's kind of like dreaming.
Yeah.
I struggle to do that now. So my way for falling asleep at night's been kind of fucked with, which is
like extreme jet lag.
Yeah, it's been hard to kind of like catch up. But I'm getting there. I'm mostly caught up on my sleep. But definitely, if I was to do a 40-hour stream, I'm gonna have to plan it out. I better like maybe just have some powerful knockout drugs.
Benadryl.
Yeah, Benadryl didn't work. It didn't work. Like I used a drug for insomnia. So I've had insomnia in the past. I've been given trazodone, and even that didn't help. I actually had to combine trazodone with gabapentin, which I was also prescribed at a previous time, which is an anxiolytic. Often when you have really bad insomnia, they'll prescribe the two together. For anyone watching, I'm getting my master's in pharmaceutical sciences. So while I might not be a psychiatrist, I know some things when it comes to combining drugs.
Me too, and I'm not going to be a pharmacist.
I'm just saying, don't take anything I say on stream to be super, or podcast. Sorry, I'm used to, you know
good.
what I mean.
You're fine.
Yeah, just
whatever shit show this is.
Don't go combining drugs, okay? I did a lot of research.
Check with a healthcare professional.
Yeah, that.
That's what he's trying to say, folks. Yeah, don't do what I do and hit the rattler and hope you score the jackpot. That's never a good way to go.
YOLO.
Yeah. YOLO, indeed. Yeah, I think to be able to create your own community is such a powerful thing, and especially if, and correct me if I'm wrong here, if perhaps it's not something you have had in abundance in your life or something that you've been looking for. And a lot of times the best things that we can do is when we're looking for something and we can't find it somewhere else, we just make it.
Yeah.
And, you know, that is beyond rewarding.
Yes.
You know, and whether that's community online, your own family at home, whatever it is, to be able to do that and to look at that and say, oh, I had a hand in making this. And this is something that is reflective of my values or the things that I enjoy or people I enjoy being around and having fun with and doing things with. Man, that's powerful shit. So good for you. That's fantastic. One last thing I wanted to throw in about Alpha. You are known as a speed leveler, right? Like this is you were mentioned on Polygon.
I was mentioning the Zoltan interview.
Yes. You were also Wowhead I think covers everything, so you were also on there. Do you have any other interviews or anything else coming up? We should
I believe I have an interview with Icy Veins. There's an interview with Whispers of War as well.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
All right. So look for Amanda out there. So when looking at Shadowlands for leveling, and you've already shown that you can do it in less than 8 hours, I believe.
Yeah, 6 hours and 54 minutes.
Jesus Christ. Do you think that is what they intended to be able to be done? Like, do you think that they're going to dial that back because you're sort of exposing how quickly this can be done? Or do you think that this is what they meant, is that if you know what you're doing, you should be able to get through it this quickly and move on?
Honestly, I don't know what they want. Like, listening to Ian saying, like, 7 hours is maybe a bit fast. We want it to be faster than it currently is, but I don't really know. Because right now, with the 100% XP buff, my fastest time was like 11 hours and 36 minutes. And there's a French speed leveler who did it in, I think, 8 hours and 44 minutes.
Oh,
granted, this was with an assist, so they had a warrior helping them out. They were a monk, so they had the 50% XP buff. So it was an assisted run, but
not a solo gig like you.
Right. As far as I know, I never got the full details on the run, which I wish I had, but because I'm always like, okay, how do I piece this? How can I make this better?
Wow. With
an assisted run on Alpha right now, I'm thinking it's probably going to be about 3 hours, 3.5 hours. That's with Warlords in its current state. Because I ran through the content, I was looking how fast it was going. Things were buggy and messy, but because there's so many bonus objectives, and the only thing that slows a bonus objective down is how fast you can kill it. So having a max level player going through bonus and flying, all that, 3.5 hours seems very doable from 1 to 50 easily. So I don't know if that's what they want to go with. My solo player run was pretty casual. I mean, I was heirloom swapping, which is probably the more complicated technique for those of you who don't know heirloom swapping. It's when you have 2 gear sets and you switch between a stronger eye level gear set over heirlooms, since heirlooms are so weak now. That way you're able to switch between the two. You get the full XP buff anytime you do a bonus objective or a quest, but you're able to get the killing power of normal gear. And so you use that and you go through it. The overall questing experience was very typical. It was just going in a straight line. That was 6 hours and 54 minutes. No breaks, nothing, just go, go, go.
Jesus.
And that's still missing things like the 10% XP pot, the 20% XP pot from Warlords. We're missing like 10% XP from Rings, the 10% XP from Pants. So it could be even faster with full XP buffs, and then not considering consumables like Goblin Gliders, Gun Shoes, Swiftness Potions, Pots, etc., etc. There's a lot to be gained here.
Do you think of all the expansions, Warlords is the...
It's most likely will be, yes. And if Blizzard doesn't change it at all. I think one of the slowest expansions currently is probably going to be Wrath and Outlands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
1 to 60 for me. I don't know. When I did it recently, 1 to 60, or no, wait, it wasn't 1 to 60. It was was that the drag? There's a certain area where it just drags.
60 to 80.
That's it. Okay, so it's 60 to 80 because I went right to Wrath. Like I got to 60, I went to Wrath. I'm like, this is taking forever. This is just dragging on, and then it just picks up and like. I don't think people know, like, you literally can go from when you're 80, you can basically skip Warlords by just doing the intro quest and doing dungeons. Like, you do the intro quest, you're doing dungeons, and then by the time you get to your garrison, you're basically done. And it's that quick now. It's so weird.
Yeah. I still probably won't level an alt until Shadowlands. That's all right. That's what I love. It's just the two extremes. I have no alts at max level. I just have one character at max level. We've got them all.
Let's see. Yeah, so originally it used to take, I think it used to take like 8 hours to go from 60 to 80. It was somewhere around there. It was like some ridiculous time. And then when they changed leveling and reduced the speed by about 40%, 60 to 70 took about 2 hours and 25 minutes. With the 100% XP buff right now, 60 to 80 takes 2 hours and 27 minutes for me.
Wow.
So we've gone from this like 8 hours to like 4 hours to 2.5 hours.
It seems like there is an overarching philosophy now, whether it's 7 hours, 8 hours to get through it, or whether it's 12 hours to get through it. I know when we first got into Alpha, one of the very first things I did was to go try out the new starting area, the Exiles Reach, just to kind of get a sense of what does that feel like, what does that look like, what sort of training are we giving brand new players, and then how does that flow into where we go next. And I have to say, so far, I was pretty impressed with how they went about getting people kind of comfortable with this is how you move about the world, and these are the things that we do in World of Warcraft. There's little bosses, there's quests, there's all of these things. But it was more about the flow, going from this starting area, I think you get up to level 10 or whatever it is, and then you're going right into the story, because unlike yourself, I'm not a technical guy. Like you, Des, you have all the technical knowledge on how all of this stuff runs, and you can parse this stuff out, and you're a genius when it comes to this. I am completely on the other side. I don't know shit about any of this stuff. It's all about story and just like how does stuff feel, and like how long does it take, you know, what is that just sort of squishy spot in my brain, like, yes, this feels right. And with the new starting area, it felt really good to go straight from there, flow in through Stormwind, get into BFA, and to move on. And it feels like if that's going to be sort of the leveling flow, the feeling, the thrust of how that's going to work going forward for new players. Now, old time players like us, we can go and do the old school version. You show up in your race area and start off at level 1 and kill wolves in Northshire. You can do all of that. But that, I think, for just the average player is going to be a much better experience for leveling than it's ever been, at least as far as I can remember, and make it less daunting. Because I think when people hear stuff like, oh, this guy did it in 7+ hours, less than 8 hours, I could do that too. Like, no. Like, you have to understand the amount of skill and preparation and all of the work that goes in to be able to do something like that. That is a hell of a feat. That is a hell of a feat, and I don't think anybody should just be like, yeah, I'm going to pick that up and do that too. So, for us, the rest of us, you know, behind the curve here, being able to follow through a flow like that is I think that's going to be that and Torghast. I think are going to be the two biggest pieces of this expansion that are going to really make it shine. Story TBD. I got my hopes up, as I always do, but you never know about that. But as far as just how that's going to feel, I think that's great. Have you, by any chance, jumped into that Exiles Reach? Have you given that a spin at all?
Yeah, I've ran it, I think, about 3 or 4 times now. I like it. It's smooth. It's probably the smoothest starting experience Blizzard has ever created. In the past, like the Goblin starting experience, Worgen, Panda, they've all felt kind of unfun, kind of slow, cramped. With this, it streamlines everything and just makes it. There's still a few bugs, like when you have to charge the lady like 3 times, but charge has like a 20-second cooldown.
Oh, yeah.
So you're just standing there like, okay, guess I'll just stand here.
I'm just getting bounced around. All right.
There's some flow issues here, but I mean, that'll get tuned and everything. It looks very promising. I like the concept of a complete new zone, that you're this brand new class in the game, and you're setting off to war, and that they're sending you there like a soldier. It's got so much character to it already, and it fits. It fits with the story. It creates this brand new experience. Whereas before, like, you make a character and there's 20 different storylines all playing out once, and you're like, I don't fucking know.
Who's Illidan? I don't know. Who's Deathwing? He's dead.
I really like that. and it's very promising for new players. Which, I mean, I want all the new players we can get. I mean, sure, it might be a little annoying grouping at first, but if WoW is going to make it like another 10, 20, 30 years, we need new blood. So I welcome all the new blood we can get, because I love this game and I don't want to see it end anytime soon.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing they're gonna shut these servers down for a very long time unless some insane thing happens. I can't imagine that. There's gonna be. This is not my original thought, but I read one time somebody had said that there's probably going to be a Warcraft server running in the Smithsonian forever at some point, just because it's just that much of a cultural touchstone for so many. And to see, again, ways to bring that new life in. And to your point, yes, we absolutely need new players. And when you come in, and we've talked about this on our show before, looking at the path that you have to go through right now as a brand new player, you don't know anything. You're like, oh, I've heard of World of Warcraft. I'm going to go check it out. It is daunting as hell to look at that and go, who are all these characters? Where are all these places? What are all these 100 and something what levels? What? I'm never going to get that far. I'm going to go play Animal Crossing or whatever one of these other things are. You know, it's just it drives people away because it's too big a challenge to take on. So, yeah, being able to bring that back, I think, is good, and certainly we'll have people like yourself just blowing up records and showing us all how it's really done along the way, and it's gonna be so much fun watching you as you rip through Shadowlands and everything else that's going on. And man, it's been awesome, and we're so happy to have you as part of the community. And you know, I hope you just keep enjoying doing what you're doing and ripping it up out there, because I know we're having a freaking great time. But before we go, is there anything last minute that you want to plug or get the word out before we go?
I mean, the most important thing to plug is the World of Warcraft community as a whole. I wouldn't be able to accomplish what I had if it wasn't for the community. I mean, the community themselves have played such an important role in my life just growing. People like RWow, Raider.io, Perky Pugs, all these different communities that have come to uplift people, you know, wanting to do more, wanting to do better in the community. I guess, yeah, that's what I have to plug. I have the actual Warcraft community because they're all fucking incredible.
Right on, man. That's awesome. Well, I want to thank our guest, Des Mephisto, for stopping by and dropping all of his bleeding edge knowledge on us today. We're very lucky to have you, and thanks for making time for us. For folks that are looking to follow you and all of your various activities, where can they find you out on the interwebs?
You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube under Des Mephisto. Pretty simple. I try to keep it simple. You know, just one name. As long as you know the name, you can find me.
You're like Cher. You only need one name. Everybody knows who you are. It's perfect. And other than this fine program, where can the good people find you on the internet, Navox?
You can find me out on Twitter and Twitch. I'm at NAV_OX.
As for me, you can always find me on Twitter at Berserker Rage and this show at Unshackled_Fury. Feel free to contact the show with your questions, comments, or otherwise at unshackledfuryshow@gmail.com. And you can find this show on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and Google Play. So once again, thank you for listening. Remember to keep your swords wet and your banners high. We'll see you next time. Farewell.